I don't know, maybe it was good for me. I finally slept more in 4 days than I had in like the last month. Uh, so maybe it happened for a reason. I'd like to hope it did because I'm still very upset about missing that NFT bull. Uh, you can hear me, Bogart, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I mean, if anybody was here at Christmas, I don't like to keep mentioning it, but before there was really any signs of an NFT bull, other than the fact that Bored Ape was, going parabolic, we were here on this space saying that we're ready, we're prepared for it. We think that the bull is here and coming, and so we're gonna buy some NFTs. And buy NFTs we did. I think our first week of NFT trading, we brought in about 50 ETH or 50 Ethereum of realized profit on a 100 Ethereum stack, which is amazing. And if anybody's been following our story, we probably gave away 30 ETH of that profit too. Uh, Sadly, not to our holders, and sadly, not to somebody who really appreciated it, but it is what it is. Um, so that's all going swell. Nate's back. Nate's here. Nate's bullish on this space. Um, and then I guess we can get a little bit more into what I think's going to happen next and why ACYC is positioned the best out of all tokens of this nature comparatively. But maybe we'll get into some more formal announcements first.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you guys can, as you probably noticed, there is another speaker up here on the stage. YoungBuffet is here with us, and he is actually our new Chief Marketing Officer at ACYC. So we've been working to put together a proper marketing team with someone, with someone who's well versed in the space, and so that is who he is. And I'll bring him up here for a minute to, speak to that a little more.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Young Buffett here. A lot of you might know me as Wall Street Stonks. I run a TikTok and YouTube channel that talks about stocks, crypto, finance, and just all things money, really. I'm super excited to be a part of the ACYC team. So I'm going to be working with the marketing team here and just keeping things organized. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's probably going to be a really easy job. ACYC sells itself really, really easily. There's so many marketable key terms and just buzzwords about ACYC, like altcoins, meme coins, low cap market, high profit potential, day trading, swing trading, 100x, 10x. It's just, there's so much to it. And we're in the NFT space now. So marketing is all about just making sure the right people hear the right thing at the right time. So it's just going to be my job to find that person who, wants to get into NFT trading, but maybe doesn't have 5 ETH or 10 ETH or even 50 ETH to throw at something and really capitalize on stuff like this. So that's where ACYC can come in and provide some value. And it's just going to be my job to show people that value. So my DMs are always open. They're always full. But if you guys have any questions, you can slide in there. I'm always lurking in the Discord as well. So excited to get to know all of you guys and work with the ACYC team.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, we're really excited to have Buffett on. Something we've said since the beginning with ACYC is like we're always looking to expand, introduce people who are specialists in, the areas, that we aren't. We a lot of us wear many hats at ACYC, but we're an ever expanding team. If you caught our last spaces, we introduced you guys to a few other members of the people working on the team. There's a total of like 25 of us behind the scenes, and we will be revealing more and more of those people over time. But, that just goes into, having the right people working on the right things, focusing in on that so everybody can do their job best. So, yeah, we're really excited to have Buffett on. He's a master at what he does. So we feel very confident we're in great hands, and we've, developed a whole team to support him as well. So, that's what I could say there. And, Nate, if you want to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, so the same thing. Like, we're happy to announce Buffett. I was down for about 4 or 5 days, like I said, and I came back to an update call from Bogart. I did peek my head in, like I knew what we were doing, I knew what we were following. I just did not have the capacity to reply to anybody. I did reply. They knew I was alive, but to engage in the conversations. And so the first thing I said when I got back is, "Who is this marketing guy you guys are bringing on? Like, what do they have like behind them?" And they first just said it's Wall Street Stonks, and I was like, "Okay, what's he need? Let's do it." Because I mean, when we first started, Wall Street Stonks made a great video. Wall Street Stonks has great content that we want. And like Bogart said, we've been looking for specialists. It's kind of like the same reason why the first day we mentioned, like not first day, but first week we were mentioning, hey, like we've got some great farmers. We really do. We even, I don't know if it's been announced, we brought on another farmer. And you know, since the beginning, we've always wanted like a master farmer. And Pennybags is a master farmer, but we're still looking for somebody who, you know, commits their entire life to farming. I know. Somebody who commits their entire life to farming, and will be like our dedicated farmer specialist. And that's why we haven't, officially filled the master farmer role, is because we're looking for specialists in that field. We will literally take a year if we need to take a year to find the person, because I've found multiple candidates, all right? And each time I find one of these candidates, one, they're either doing their own similar thing, not farming as a service, but like educational content, where that takes up a lot of their time, or, you know, they've already made more money than they know what to do with. So $1 million offer to them isn't shit. And, you know, we're going to continue to find these people and contact them, but till the time is right. And until the right person is ready to get on board, we're not going to fill that position. So super glad to see that we have a Wall Street Stonks, because, you know, I wouldn't have aggressively tried to fill this position unless it was Wall Street Stonks or we had someone very similar to Wall Street Stonks. So super excited to have you on the team. Welcome on board. And as he said, like, you have now the easiest marketing role out of anybody possible. One, we're super shillable, 10x, 100x, passive income, all that stuff. But on top of that, you know, we really haven't marketed. Some of these other tokens, I'm not going to call this marketing, but it is a form of marketing. You see all these other tokens like underneath every comment of every DeFi thread. These other tokens are, you know, partnerships, Twitter things, whatever. We did this, we did that, Twitter it. So far, like, we really haven't spread to the mass, to the masses in the same way that other people have. Partially by design and partially by waiting for someone like you to be the first one to dip their feet in there. You know, Wall Street Stonks, and we have some other people that are going to be helping him. We don't want our marketing lead, you know, getting his feet completely, his hands completely dirty. He will have assistance. And so some of the things I'm looking forward to should be coming into fruition over the next week. And it should just get our name out there more. Right now, we're kind of like Time, Time as in Wonderland. We're kind of like Wonderland before it went parabolic and everybody is telling everybody, all their friends about Time. Like, hey, do you have time? You should be staking Time. You know, we're kind of like that. We're kind of like, how did you find out about Time early? It's just a bunch of smart people telling each other. So super excited to have you on board. Long-winded way to get there, but saying that. Cool. So where do we want to take this next, Boggart?
Yeah, what I'll touch on briefly is I'm sure a lot of you have seen a DeFi 3.0 alliance pop up that we're a part of. And, you know, this isn't anything, that's, for generating revenue or anything like that. It's to cultivate, the space like we've spoken about since the beginning. This is like a whole new space in crypto. That being considered, that means that there's going to be a lot of players, and no one's doing what we're doing the ways that we're doing it, and vice versa. And so we can all mutually benefit, by sharing what's happening in the space, sharing DeFi 3.0, sharing farming as a service, like getting that message out there as a collective is a lot better. So, we're really excited to partner up with some of the other people in the space that are, working on similar protocols for all of, our mutual benefit, because we really believe, DeFi 3.0 and farming as a service, investing as a service as we do, covering so much more than farming. We really believe that's, the future. So that's just to touch on that a little bit. Something to be a little excited about is just collaboration in the space and mutual success. So that, that's what I'll say to that.
Yeah, just want to build on that too. Like, it's been our message since day one. There are no competitors in the farming as a service space. There's so much room for everybody to succeed that we have no competitors. We just have, it's similar to like LeBron James and Steph Curry. Like it doesn't have to be who's better than the other, or Lionel Messi and Ronaldo. It doesn't have to be who's better than the other. We can push each other to be better than the other, but at the end of the day, we're both both playing for different teams on the same game, and one doesn't have to ultimately lose, and one doesn't have to ultimately win. Uh, and that's why the farming as a service DeFi 3.0 like alliance works, is because you have all these projects coming together, asking each other how we can do better, because it's not that competitive of a space. Until somebody's got $1 billion in their treasury and completely, takes over every liquidity pool and every farming method, then maybe. But until 10 years when that happens, we're all good. We can all share the sauce. It's spreadable. Cool. So let's take it to the next step. Our treasury. Our treasury just hit a $4 million value. And when that comes to treasury to market cap ratio, there are, as far as I know, there's not a single farming as a service project that has the treasury to market cap ratio that we have, aka we have 4 mil in our treasury, and I believe our market cap is 20 to 25 mil. So we have about 1/4 of our market cap in the treasury, or 1/5 of our market cap in the treasury. And when it comes to farming as a service, I do not know of any other farming as a service tokens that have that type of ratio. Use that information as you will. And that number is ever growing, the treasury number. Don't really want to get too far into that. It's mega bullish, yes. It's mega bullish that we've got so much in our treasury and our market cap so low, but use it as a time to accumulate. Use it as your investment thesis. If you think that the market cap of a project should be 10x its treasury, then under that assumption, if our treasury is 4 mil and our market cap is 25 mil, I would say that we're undervalued. So yeah, you just use that for your investment thesis if you'd like. But Bogert, aggregated performance reports. I know we've teased those last year, saying that we're going to go to a monthly model. Can you give us any more updates on that?
Yeah, well, so just to lightly touch on that, a lot of you are asking. That is absolutely still the plan, and it is absolutely coming. So we're excited to share that with you. As it already shows in our treasury, we're growing rapidly. We set a Q1 goal for $10 million in the treasury. It's now less than 2 weeks into Q1, and we're already almost halfway there. So it's like we've always said, regardless of what the price of the token is doing, that doesn't affect our ability to yield in the treasury and reach those goals. So the longer that we are at a low market cap and the treasury just keeps growing and growing, the more and more bullish we can all be, and the more undervalued we become. So yeah, those performance reports are coming. Those will be extra bullish. The treasury action already is extra bullish. So we're loving where we're at. This is a great accumulation phase. It's like Nate said, this is the time where you're buying something while it's undervalued, before it pops, and everybody's so surprised. But yeah, so we're really excited about that, and those updates are absolutely coming. It is still the plan. Should be here shortly.
Cool. Sorry, my dog just got attacked by some high school girls. Cool. So yes, coming shortly. Next, the long-awaited alpha pass. We teased this. You can hear me, right?
Yep, I hear you.
All right, cool. So I'm walking back to my house, and I'll connect to Wi-Fi, and I'll go breaky. Let me know if I break out. So the long-awaited alpha pass. We've been teasing it. It's been about a couple of weeks we've been teasing it. It feels like a few years in the NFT world or crypto world, both worlds. So yeah, the alpha pass is underway. We're still working on it. And do we want to mention this before the other thing or after or together?
It's kind of together. It's kind of together, I would say.
Okay, so maybe we'll start with the other thing.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So, this is super bullish. We said we were going to do this since the beginning. We're doing it now. We're finally having conversations with, not finally, we've been having conversations with venture capitalist investment funds. Right now we're in the works of closing a mutual beneficial deal with this investment, with the particular investment fund, and the way this deal would work. I'm not going to give any numbers, but they would buy half tokens and half a contribution to our treasury. So let's just say they were thinking about, dabbling their toes at like a 500K investment total. We've worked out, what we believe and they believe is a fair deal. They just buy like 250K of tokens and 250K to the treasury. And so that is, underway. That's much past the, I don't want to say how far along it is, but
we lost Nate.
It,
but yeah,
money is.
You're back.
I'm back. My back. Cool. Money.
Yeah.
Money is money, and this is what we've been aiming for all along. The more money we can put in our treasury, the more money we can reflect with farming. And as far as the money would go, any large sums of money like that, I think we'd only feel safe putting that into farming. Because the end goal for us is to put large sums into our farming wallets and to farm and return those profits back to holders. So, we're wrapping that up, our first VC investment fund contribution. And the reason I wanted to mention that is because with our Alpha Pass, I don't want to give away too much about it, but it will be a way as well to directly contribute to the treasury. We're also getting access to the Alpha Room. And when I say the Alpha Room, I don't mean the Alpha Room that's in our Discord currently, the ACYC Alpha Room. And also, I don't want those ACYC Alpha Room holders to feel like they'll be left out. We haven't worked out exactly how much ACYC we will make the new Discord channel require if people want to use ACYC, but it shouldn't be like 10 times more than we have currently. But yeah, so the new Alpha Room will be actually a Discord channel. And we haven't doxed the developer, right?
No, we have not doxed the people working on.
Okay,
this.
so this Alpha Room is kind of like Nansen data meets people who don't want to look at Nansen all day and do the work themselves. Because personally, for myself, I downloaded Nansen data pretty early on, and it just wasn't working for me. There's so much self-input, so much self-work, and at the end of the day, if I'm being tracked by other people, do I really want to spend the time myself to track anybody else? It just felt like a way to set alerts. This Alpha Room is literally Nansen data meets practical information, meets tools that I know for a fact don't exist anywhere else. Some of the things being developed are being developed by the best developers in this space. I'm not talking about Binance or something developers, but the best developers that you've seen work on projects are working on this Alpha Room with functions that don't exist and will be copied. Will likely not end well for others, but some of this will be copied, some of this will be replicated, and that's how it's going to be great. And myself, I'm just blown away by it. I have literally made trades on the Atlas NFT fund based off of the information I've seen. I have minted collections based off the information I've seen. I've done quite a bit based off the information I've seen. And as far as I know, and I've done some digging, there's only one other Alpha Pass that has something anywhere similar. And when I say similar, I mean like the Chinese bootleg version of a Ford or something. Like, we are going to have the most pristine running Alpha Discord, and like I said, it's not just calls.
We lost Nate. It's not just calls though. It's it's centered around data. There you go. You're back.
Yeah, cool. Am I back?
Yep.
It's not just calls. It's centered around data, and you'll be able to make your own calls very, very informed. And I'm sure by the time this is up and running, we'll have multiple people working together to help interpret information and share alpha as well. And like I said, the only comparable NFT
There's very little to compare and pick up when Nate drops off. There's very little that can compare, and it can't really. What we're doing is unmatched anywhere. And we do our due diligence. We've been in the space for years. We know where the alpha rooms are. We know where the data aggregators are, and what we're doing is incomparable. And so what's really cool about that is it's not only that, but it's in tandem with contributions directly to the Treasury. So there is this alpha room, but it's tied to the ability to directly inject funds into the Treasury and also like receive the benefits of that, which leaves the door open for future investments. So right now, while we're working on deals with investment funds or venture capitalists, later this is a mechanism for those same entities to up their stake, new entities to come in and create their own stake, regardless of if we're at 100 million or $1 billion market cap. This will always remain a way to directly inject funds into our treasury, into ACYC, and then reap the rewards of that. And it's great for the holders. Obviously, a bigger treasury is better for the ACYC token. It's more reflections, it's more farming, it's more investing. And then whoever wants to participate can also take advantage of this data that's going to be there. So we're feeling very bullish on this idea and excited to share that with you. Sweet. Well, I mean, I'll keep going and I'll say, from there, that's a great thing. And that sort of bridges the gap. We leaned into our experience as, NFT identities. Nate and I are very well versed in the space, as well as many of the other on the team. And so leaning into those strengths and leveraging that and taking advantage of the resources that we've been using for years to make money, just for ACYC is the goal. It's all about, how do we maximize reflections for our base, every decision we do. And so this is just an extension of that, as is our extension into the metaverse, which is really exciting. I'm sure many of you saw, and some of you didn't. ACYC has acquired our own plot of Sandbox land, the Sandbox being, one of the many metaverses that exist. And we're really excited about this, to develop this into a space for ACYC holders to come to vote on things, to see our NFTs, we have a lot of great ideas I don't want to give away, but events, play to earn mechanics, there's a lot more that's baked into that. And ACYC is so much more than just a crypto fund or anything like that. We're all encompassing of everything in the space. We're the one-stop shop for crypto, for NFTs, for whatever it is, any investments. We've always said if making a flower farm and selling that would be maximizing reflections for holders, we would do it. We're profit maximalists, so that's what we're here for. And our metaverse expansion is an extension of that, but also to give our community a home in the burgeoning field of metaverse applications. So very excited about that. Nate, maybe you want to speak more to the NFT side of things, how that's been going. I think a lot of people have seen some nice trades we've been doing. And if not, I can keep going. I mean, I will. We're really excited about the NFT performance. The Atlas NFT Treasury. If you've noticed, I mean, we're putting up many ETH returns every single week, very consistently, flipping things for 5 ETH, 10 ETH, and that adds up. The amount of capital that we are able to yield is incomparable. There's no other fund that's able to do it, because there's no other fund that has the traders or the experience or the data that we have. And so, we've always been leveraging all of those resources to maximize returns, to build the treasury, and to return that to our holders. So we're very excited about how Atlas has been doing. There will be more, aggregated details of that, even though you've seen individual trades in the coming report, of course. But as Nate touched on, in our first week alone, we were up 60 ETH, which is more returns than you can any other service is getting from their yielding strategies. So just more reasons to feel bullish. We thought we were bullish when this started. We thought we were bullish 2 weeks in, and it just keeps getting more and more bullish. And So we're just going to keep going as the capital, as the Treasury grows. It allows us to make larger investments, allows us to reflect harder to holders. We've touched on before, in our first month, we manually reflected $800,000 worth of tokens to our holders, which was wonderful. But the end goal is, consistent manual reflections. It creates kind of a feedback loop where we're purchasing our own tokens to distribute to our holders. So we kind of at a point like don't need external input. As you can tell right now, it doesn't matter what the token's doing, the Treasury is growing. And all the while that's happening, we just become more and more and more undervalued as the Treasury grows. So we feel extra bullish on that, and we're extra bullish on the performance of our NFTs. We've opened more positions in some projects that we feel extremely bullish on, that we think will return massively for the Treasury. We're always doing that. We're always entering more positions. A lot of people, don't understand always what we're doing, but there's targets in mind for every investment. There's, profit taking points. There's timing for everything. And the whole principle is to remain diversified across all of these fields where we can be resilient. If there's an NFT bear, we're fine. We're ready for that. We have diverse risk-adjusted yielding strategies. If NFT bull continues, we're ready for that too. We're very well positioned to continue on with that. So we're feeling, really excited about that. And yeah, I mean, nobody can replicate what we're doing. Nobody can replicate our traders. Nobody can replicate our strategies or our data. Even when we do eventually open up, this alpha area where we have all of our data, which is, I mean, it really is there. Without giving too much away, it's so much more. It's not just tracking wallets. A lot of these alpha channels, they just have a few wallet trackers. This is way more than that. But even when we open that up, people will try to copy it, but they're never going to be able to get it to the quality that we have. It's just incomparable, unmatched. And so we're really excited about that. And that's where we get our data. It's, as Nate said, we're opening trades based off of a lot of inputs that we have, a lot of data, and a lot of experience. And all of that is unique to ACYC. So Nate, if you're there, maybe you can talk about, how this space looks as we move forward, as we scale. And if not, I will. Maybe Nate's having an issue with his dogs. So, as far as that goes, then, scaling ACYC, we get a lot of questions about that. What is the plan? Where does this go? And we do have a website redesign that's, very close to done. We're going to be rolling that out extremely soon. And that includes an updated roadmap. So you guys can sort of get a sense of the grander vision. But the vision is always to remain profit maximalists, and our operations and the strategies that we employ can scale. So right now we might flip 50 ETH Bored Ape. That's great. We can make 10, 20, 30 ETH on that. But when our treasury is larger, we can flip an 800 ETH punk that's undervalued. I don't know if you guys saw a few weeks ago, there was one that that we definitely had our eyes on, but obviously don't want to. You can't safely allocate so much of the treasury to an asset like that at this point. But there are trades and data that we have that would allow us to capitalize on thousands of ETH. So we'll always be able to scale. We'll always be able to seize those positions and yield capital and get insane returns on that. So we're feeling very bullish about moving forward into that space as well. But everything scales, farming scales, and we can be in different pools and on different chains. It doesn't matter if we have 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 100 million in our treasury. We're going to be yielding and we're going to be returning those profits to our holders. And, you'll see us flipping, you'll see us buying, you'll see us selling, buying the dips, selling the rips, as we like to say, always. And offloading that capital into stables and remaining. We all know there's going to be a bear market. There will be a blow off top. There will be a bear market, and ACYC is 100% prepared to deploy our funds in that bear market into extremely lucrative investments that will again allow us to remain yielding and reflecting through any market conditions. We are the bear market token. and so, we're really excited for the bear market. We've always said Nate and I were born in the bear. So to return home to there is just a comfy thing for us. So yeah, and we'll always be expanding as well. We've added Wall Street on as our chief marketing officer, and that's great. And as Nate mentioned, if it takes a year, then it takes a year to get a farmer that we want to act as our master farming advisor. But the principle always remains to expand, to grow, and to onboard more people, bigger brains that can to use those resources to leverage for even more capital returns. Because as great as Nate can be as a trader, or I can be, or any other our other operators, we absolutely recognize there are masters in this space as well. As well as us. So it's not a better thing, it's just a more thing. More brains here working on ACYC means more returns, more yields, more reflections. So we're very excited for that. We're very excited to grow. We're very excited to take advantage of larger amounts of capital. I don't know how, but I'm sure many of you have seen this Looks airdrop. That's an example. It's very easy for us to read those types of charts. And with a market cap like that, there are many charts like that where you can throw in 300 ETH, 500 ETH, and you can double that or triple that in just a few days. It's easy for us. And so as we scale, it's just being able to seize more of those opportunities. And again, that all goes back to yield farming. And then the profits from that get leveraged there and then returned to our holders through reflections and show up on the chart as we buy back our token, to do so. So right now it's early. And sometimes the reflections, they're not as stellar as they will be in the future. And that's just simply because our focus right now is always is profit maximization. So yeah, I mean, we might flip an ape for 20 ETH and we could take that and reflect it. But the whole point is let's take that capital, let's redeploy it into farming, let's leverage that, and let's turn that 20 ETH into 50 ETH. And then let's take that and, the accumulation of that and all of our other strategies and reflect that to holders. This is a long run thing. So we're patient. It's only been, a month and a half almost of ACYC existing. We're a protocol that plans to be here for 1 year, then 5 years, then 10 years, and then beyond. So we're in no rush to get to the points that we want to reach, even though, we're reaching those goals a lot sooner than not anticipated, because we're very confident that we'll get there, but sooner than we let on. It's an under promise, over deliver thing. So yeah, 10 million by Q1 in the Treasury. We're already halfway there in 13 days of Q1. The ratio of our market cap to our Treasury is completely unmatched in the space. A lot of other people are operating at maybe 7%, 5%, 3% Treasury to market cap ratio. And there's nothing wrong with that. We understand that a lot of investments, especially, with tokens, stocks, whatever it is, a lot of it is speculative. Tesla's not worth what Tesla is worth because their underlying assets are worth that much. They're worth that much because people see the value in the protocol and speculate on that. So we understand. But from a fundamental standpoint, all that being said, we're fundamentally extremely undervalued, and it makes us feel very bullish. So we're happy to trade sideways at these levels while the Treasury is growing exponentially. I mean, this morning we flipped another thing, for another, whatever it was, $20,000-$30,000. And we're doing that day in, day out. And so the Treasury grows, and whatever the price does, we're happy to do. We're working on our deals with investment funds behind the scenes that we're feeling very bullish about. We're working on yielding more and more, very bullish, and the reflections will come. It's just, this is the revving up phase. So we're really excited to be here, though, and to be adding, new people like Wall Street to offload some of those other tasks like marketing and things like that. So yeah, I mean, we know how to yield small, we know how to yield large. We're ready to scale, and we'll remain doing so for many, many years. So that's kind of, the summation of, I think, what we wanted to say here today. I don't know if,
Yep.
There we go. Nate's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Life story, not really story, but I've had COVID. I think everyone knew. And then we immediately quarantined my girlfriend at her family's house, and she just called and said that she got it. I'm like, fuck. So that's where I just went. Sorry about that. The COVID has spread.
No, you're
But
good. I covered basically everything. I figured something happened. Yeah, we covered
so the
everything.
only thing
Yep.
I wanted to add in that I think maybe you didn't talk about because I just got back on memes. So as like a project, one of the three ways that personally myself and many others have seen massive amounts of wealth generated are farming, NFTs, and meme coins specifically. Uh, and like we did on December 25th, Christmas Day, when we said that we felt like the NFT bull was brewing up, here today saying that I think the meme bull is gearing up. I don't think, the meme bull is going to be talked about like over the next week, but just something to keep in mind. It looks like meme season could start in like the next 10 days. Just from what I've seen, just from like what I'm taking in off of like the last couple of days of observations. And do I know what the catalyst will be? No, absolutely not. The last catalyst for the meme season was Shiba. So like when Doge went from like a 4 bill market cap to a 40 bill market cap, 10x. But Doge can't always start the meme season by doing that, because if Doge 10x again, it'd be at a 400 bill market cap, or I think at this point it'd be at like 130, something like that. So the last meme season was catalyst by Shiba. Shiba did the 10x instead, which then brings people to say, okay, well, to have another catalyst for another meme season, something big has to get bigger and cause news. So obviously, I don't think Shiba's going to 10x again. Obviously, I don't think Doge is going to 10x. So everyone's speculating on what's the next 10x. What's the next one to start the meme season? I'm here to say I don't know at all. It could be Satyama, or however you pronounce it, or Floki. But that's besides the point, because once that first meme mover moons, everyone speculates on every other meme that's ever existed, and that's where you make the real money. So we're not allocating much funds at all right now. I think of our trading fund right now, I've allocated like 10 ETH, which is like roughly 14% of the trading fund, which is nothing in comparison to our entire treasury. Just to get our toes wet and the things that personally believe will move as soon as something else moves. But as soon as there's any confirmation to the meme season starting again, we'll probably open up a fund like we did for the NFT season, where we put 100 ETH in it and start trading. Do the same thing with memes, probably open up about 100 ETH fund and start trading the memes. And we'll let you know when we believe that it's in full gear. And if you've never traded a meme season, then get exposure to ACYC, because we'll be trading. We've been trading. So cool. That's the only last things I wanted to mention based off my observations. I don't think NFT season's over. I don't think everything's going to 10x like it just did this last week, but I think there will still be 2x's. And I think there's still obvious tokens that once we're fully operational and able to allocate large funds, will be huge winners. I don't know if Bogger touched on Looks, but Looks was something where it just dropped like 4 days ago. And it was obvious that a bunch of people were going to pile into it, and they did, and it 3x'd, maybe a little bit more. And one of the most obvious 3x's ever. But right now, we don't have the treasury to, justify spending 300 ETH on Looks, even if we do think it's going to 3x. We did buy some pretty low at like 20 cents. And that, I think it topped at like 48 cents. But I don't know, maybe it's moon today. But yeah, just a little touch up on what we're thinking about investment-wise, other than farming and NFTs. And that's all I got.
Yeah, totally. No, that's great. I think just to sum it up, what I'll say is for anyone here, maybe there are some first-time listeners too, what ACYC just does is everything in the space. And we do that so you don't have to. We're flipping Fidenzas so you don't have to. We're flipping Bored Apes so you don't have to. And it's not even a don't have to thing. It's hard to know how to read these markets. We have the experience, we have the time. And it also takes a lot of energy, time, and capital investment. And so if you want to have exposure, to NFTs, if you want to be able to, mint 100 of something, if you want to be able to flip, the most expensive assets, all you have to do is hold ACYC. If you want the newest, meme coins, the newest shit coins, if you want exposure to that, you don't have to learn and get rugged, 30 times and lose 50 ETH doing so. we have the experience, data, and knowledge to effectively deploy capital in all of those avenues and then return those same profits back to you. So, ACYC is the everything token. And we're just really bullish for how we're scaling. We're really bullish for where the market cap is right now relative to our treasury. I think we're very attractive as an investor myself, so we're really excited for everything to come, really excited for everything we're working on, our expansion into the metaverse, excited to bring on a proper marketing team, expand everything. Build more algorithms. We are working always on more algorithms to do more fun things, be it regarding NFTs or more coins, more ways to take advantage of opportunities and leverage our capital in ways that, no human can, because we're not watching 24/7 everything. It's impossible for a human to, but we have the tools to do so, and we are. So really excited about everything, really excited to share those updates with you guys. And I think that's about it for today's spaces. We don't want to keep it going for too long. But yeah, if you don't have anything else to say, Nate, I think we could end it here, yeah?
Yeah, let's call it here. This will be a good listen for anybody who's not listening at the moment. Find us on YouTube, ACYC Capital. All of these get loaded up to there, and they'll have little timestamps and whatnot too. So yeah, check us out there.
Yeah, totally. Like Nate said, ACY Capital on YouTube has our previous spaces. This one will be up in a day or two, depending on if it's a pain to get Twitter to get us this file. But everything's there. Our updates are there. The next spaces will do a Q&A. If you do have questions, we're always in the Discord. I am up probably 20 hours a day working on ACYC. So, you can always catch one of us in there with a question. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next time.